So we have a little bit of a template going here that we've been working on. And now we want to go from just rendering just one user out of this list of contacts here to actually dynamically rendering multiple users, no matter how many contacts are in that array. So the first thing we want to do is ask ourselves, is this like, as we continue working and add more logic, is this going to be manageable? Can I make this more manageable, rather? The answer is, of course, yes. You need to, it'd be a good idea to refactor into a single contact component, single user component before continuing. So let's show you what I mean. So components, I'm going to add a file called contact. Whoops. Let's see here. Yeah, source components, contact.js. Okay. And now, so now we can open that file. And contact.js. Okay. We need to import React. Oops. We need to do contact equals props, just like we've been doing all along before, and return, and just go grab the contact here. Okay. Cool. So there's that. Yep, that's looking good. The only thing is, if we just stick this in the list component, we're going to have a problem. So what we got to do is we have to pass. We just have to kind of migrate this logic from within this component into the contact component. Okay, so let's just take it a step at a time. Won't worry about being fancy for right now. We're just going to do contact. Okay. And we're going to say contact equals first user. Okay. Can't forget to import the component. That's important. Okay. And then let's see here. What are we missing in here? Got to remember to export default the component. Okay. Fix that. And let's see here. Gonna want one of these here, one of these here. And now that prop is set under contact. So within contact, you think the data I need is available under props.contact. Okay, so we can do, what do we have here? Name, picture, and location equals props.contact. Okay, semicolon, save, let's see, make sure everything still works, and it does. Okay. Again, just a little sanity check here. Let's just make sure. So we have the UL, we have the contact here with the image and the name and everything getting passed in. And actually, you can see there's all that data that we just passed in as a prop called contact. So that's pretty cool. And the reason we went to all this trouble is because it makes dynamically generating components a lot easier, and it would be a little unwieldy to just kind of pass around this let's see, how many lines is it? 13 line, 14 line block of JSX in here. So let me show you what I mean. Like I said, we want to go from rendering just one user to the entire list of users, okay? So what do I mean by that? Well, let's think of an example here. Like You've had some experience with looping over stuff, just with mapping, just with processes where you kind of iterate through an array and do something with the data inside of that array. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do in here. Okay. The most straightforward way would just be to we're going to get rid of this for right now. Okay. And open some curly braces again. So curly braces inside of the JSX, inside of the returned JSX. Curly braces tell React like, hey, I'm about to do some stuff with plain JavaScript. Don't try to act like it's regular JS like it's JSX. Okay, so instead of the first user, I want to do something with all of the contacts. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to do props.contacts. Okay? And I could do like, for let I, blah, 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 but we don't need to do that. And I don't encourage it. We're just going to use map. Okay? Okay, I use map a ton, and I think a lot of other React developers do, because it's really handy, and I'll show you why. For a couple reasons. So map takes a function, as its argument. You could do like function and then contact. So like each contact, so like this argument represents each element in the contacts array. If this is really weird and fuzzy to you, I would definitely go take a look at the MDN documentation for map. Maybe watch a video or something about it. It's really not that crazy. It's just a method that you call on arrays that takes a function as its argument. Okay, and in this case, the first argument you pass to that callback function represents whatever you're iterating over. It'll become clearer as we go along. So then what I can do is I can just return a contact, and let me just verify here. Okay, see, the reason I looked in here is because I remember that I'm looking for I'm trying to get these properties off of a property called contact. So the way I named it in there has to match what I named it in here. Okay, contact equals contact. Okay, all right. So let's see here. So if we, I think if we do that, and then let's just clean this up a little bit. See if there's any errors. Yeah, it doesn't like the semicolon. Cool. Okay, so that worked a little too well. Everything's all kind of smushed together, but as you can see, it is generating a user for each of these contacts, which is pretty sweet. Now we do have an error, okay, or a warning rather. It's that each child in an array or iterator should have a unique key prop. Okay, so this is a pretty common mistake I make it too sometimes, where if you are using map or for each or something to generate content dynamically, you need to provide what's called a key prop. And it's easy with map because whereas the first argument to the map function is whatever element in the array you're iterating over, so like whatever contact you're currently iterating over, you can actually pass it another one, which is just the index you're on. So first argument is the actual element. Second argument is the index of that element. Let me get it backwards here. There we go. So let me just fix that. Whoa, lost that. It's not going to work. There's that. Okay. Okay, nice and clean looking. Everything's all separated out nicely. No more warning in the console. It's pretty sweet. Now, so let me think here. So that's all pretty well and good. We could go and put like a fresh coat of paint on this if we wanted to, but it's still not like a dynamic application. And maybe you're not quite convinced of how React really is as great as everybody says it is. Well, this I think would be an interesting way of demonstrating how flexible React is and how great it is for development as long as you just follow these simple rules of composability and whatnot. If we go, so I got this data from randomuser.me. They have a free API. It's good for little demonstrations. Just gives you some dummy data. So if I look at this, this is basically identical. This structure is basically identical to what we started with. You know what I mean? I had to destructure users off of list of users. Okay? So if I had a way to go and make a call to this API, then I could just use real data. You know what I mean? So you'll be learning the fetch API. I'm just going to use Axios real quick because I'm a little more familiar with it. But they do basically the same thing. They just make requests over the internet. So to do this, what we'll have to do is this is actually where a class-based component will come in handy. So I see that I'm running a little past the 5-minute mark or so on this video. So I'm going to break this up into one more video and just show you a case where it would be a good idea to use a class-based component, and hopefully also demonstrate how simple these little tweaks and refactoring tricks can be with developing React applications.